How's it going, everyone? Maryland here. That's right, it's time for another booster box opening. This time, it's of the newest set, XY Primal Clash. Oh yeah, as you can see from this box here, it indeed features quite a few of the Hoenn Pokemon from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, it's still called XY Primal Clash because it's that generation, but you will find Pokemon introduced in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Well, really more new forms, like Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. Awesome. Now, if you're not familiar with my box opening videos, I don't just rush through them. That's just not my style. I like to just kind of explain every card. Maybe not every card, but I do like to kind of offer that as an option. If you want to see someone just, rush through a box, hey, you know what? That is totally cool, but that's not me. I like to, kind of take a look at the set. That's just my style. Now, if I can open this thing, that would be great. I just turned my nails, so it's like, oh no, can't open everything right away. Don't you hate it when that happens? I oftentimes do. I like to keep my nails pretty short, but all right, anyway, let's take a look at the newest set, Primal Clash. So, a sealed booster box contains 36 booster packs. However, I have actually heard that some booster boxes of the set may contain a 37th pack. It's kind of interesting. I was hearing some stories about that, but most will have the 36. Sort of like the packages of pierogies. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but sometimes it's like, even though the box says 12, I end up getting 13, and it's always like, whoa, what do I do? What does it mean? Anyway, I oftentimes like to open each side separately, and I usually start on the right side. No particular reason, but let's just go for it. Also, one thing that a lot of people that open up packs do is they like to move the rarest card to the back as soon as they open things. I just don't care for doing that. It's not really my style, so don't let that bother you too much. I like to just open the packs as they came, because that way you get a chance to see the cards in the original order. Doesn't really matter, you can open it any way you want, but just in case you're familiar with seeing that style and you're wondering why on earth I'm not doing that. Look at that Trico, that's pretty cool. Vulpix. Yeah, I know, I do like to take a look at the cards, because it's kind of fun. Ooh, reverse hollow Breloom, neat. Excadrill, that's pretty cool. Experience share, so broken. No, actually this one isn't. It's pretty good though. It's a tool so you can attach it to one of your Pokemon, and then when your active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, you may move one basic energy card that was attached to that Pokemon to the Pokemon that this is attached to. So it's really useful if you're kind of wanting to charge something up on the bench, you're not going to use it for a bit, you can put this on it, and then when your active Pokemon's knocked out, you get some of its energy on that. And it's not a single use thing too, because it'll just stay there as a tool. So that's kind of nice. Energy retrieval, that's pretty cool. And Grovyle. I like the art on that. Now, I'm not going to give away any of the codes unless I get a Pokémon-EX or another really cool card in the pack. That's how it goes. But there are really cool online codes that you can enter here to play the Pokemon trading card game online. You don't need these in order to play, but they do unlock booster packs of this set when you redeem them online. So that's really kind of nice. Electrike, Drillbur, Skitty, Rhyhorn. Look at that ball roll, that's funny. Ooh, a Milotic. That's a pretty card. Reverse hollow one too. Let's see, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may put a card from your discard pile into your hand. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, not a lot of cards allow you to do that, like take things back from your discard pile, particularly anything. And Aqua Swirl does 60 for 3, not terrible. And you may also have your opponent switch his or her active Pokemon with one of his or her bench. Now they would choose in that instance, but not too bad. Ooh, so this is a new type of card. Well, I mean it's a water type, but it's a new kind of look to it. They have been called all sorts of things. Most people kind of settle on half art because it's kind of like a half full art. I know it's kind of silly, but it's a cool new look. And each of these cards has a trait up here, an ancient trait. In this case, this one is when this Pokemon is healed, you double the amount healed. That's pretty cool. It's called Alpha Recovery. Nifty. Other than that, it's just like an ordinary Ludicolo. I mean, you would play it on a Lombre or use a rare candy on a Lotad and that would work. But you get that kind of effect there. When the Pokemon's healed, you double the amount. So that's nice. Astonish is interesting. 30 for 1, colorless. And you choose a random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals that card and shuffles it into his or her deck. So you kind of get rid of some of their stuff. But Splash Dance is the one that will kind of keep going. So it does 60 the first time you use it, but then during your next turn, it does 60 more damage. Now it doesn't keep stacking, so it only becomes 60 and then 120 and then 120 and then 120, not 180, 240, etc. But still pretty cool. All right, anyway, Mr. Mime. That's a cool card, a fairy type Mr. Mime. How cool to see that, huh? Trick is interesting. You move a Pokemon tool card attached to one of either player's Pokemon to another of that player's Pokemon that doesn't already have a tool attached to it. If there's no Pokemon to move the tool to, it does nothing, but that's a good way to move tools around, and it can actually disrupt your opponent pretty good. And since it's colorless, you know, it's not like it needs fairy energy, because its attack isn't really all that great. Lock up. Macargo. Kind of interesting. Actually does quite a bit of damage for just 1 fire energy, 20, but also 20 to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and then 90 for 3. Yeah, that's actually not too shabby. All right, and a Seadra. Okay. Nifty, nifty. Whoa, I just like launched that pack. Oh man, it was more of a Primal Crash than a Primal Clash. Okay, so we got Dynamo here. We got Nidoran female. Tentacool, I love this attack, Lost in the Waves. It's just so great. I didn't actually record any of the pre-releases this time around. I just wasn't really feeling it. And I played a deck with just this in it and just kept using Lost in the Waves. It wasn't meant to win, but it was just really funny. And I just love the name of that attack. Torchic, Hippopotas, a reverse foil Spheal, that's cool. Ooh, a Crawdaunt. That's kind of nifty looking. Its ability, when you play it from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, so you can kind of catch them off guard. And it doesn't even have to be, or this one doesn't have to be your active either. Like you could evolve a Corphish on the bench and then discard one of your opponent's energy. And it doesn't even have to be special. It's any kind of energy, so that's cool. A Groudon Spirit Link, that's neat. You attach that to your, not Primal Groudon-EX, yeah, actually, no. You attach it to Groudon-EX, and then your turn doesn't end when it becomes Primal Groudon-EX, because normally your turn would end when you Mega Evolve. And that's still considered Mega Evolving, despite being Primal. Okay, so yeah, Nidorina and Celio. Cool. All right, moving right along here. Wow, that pack just opened right up. Okay, let's see. We got that Corphish. Dynamo. Weedle. Barboach. Honedge. That's funny. Ooh, Sceptile. Nurture and Heal. Its ability, whenever you attach a grass energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, it doesn't have to be grass Pokemon, by the way, you can heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. Oh, wait, actually, let me rephrase that. Once during your turn, you may attach a grass energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and if you do, you heal 30 damage. So you actually get to attach an extra energy, an extra grass energy with this Sceptile, and you heal it. That's pretty cool. You can only use that power once per turn, but if you have multiple Sceptile out, you can use it for each one. That's actually really nifty. Ooh, there we go. There's another Macargo. This one, though, is that half-art Macargo, so it has some different attacks. It looks really cool. Has Ram, but also Indomitable Blaze. For just a fire and 2 colorless, it does 60 damage, which isn't too bad on its own, but also if your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon-EX, it does 60 more damage. That's 120 damage for 3 energy. Not bad. Plus, one thing that's really nice about this is its trait, its ancient trait here, Omega Barrier. Whenever your opponent plays a trainer card, excluding Pokemon tools and stadium cards, you prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So anything that tries to, say, discard its energy, like an enhanced hammer to get rid of a double colorless, let's say, it wouldn't work on this thing. So that's pretty good. It's good for just not worrying about stuff. Oh, there's a Gardevoir Spirit Link, which is similar to the Groudon one, except for Gardevoir-EX and Mega Gardevoir-EX, which is cool. Buskin, and some Rough Seas. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 30 damage from each of his or her water and lightning Pokemon. That's actually really nice. Not too bad at all for a stadium, healing 30 on everything. I mean, if your opponent's playing a lot of water and electric types, you're probably not going to want to use that because they'll get a chance to heal too. All right, we got Lotad, Meditite, Bidoof. I love that Bidoof. Look at the art on that. It's so cute. It's like, this is my rock. I'm not going to give you it. Horsey, Chinchou. Wow, happy Chinchou. Surskit. First foil Surskit. And, ooh, Mega Aggron-EX. That looks cool. 240 hit points. That's a lot. And its attack here for 2 metal and 2 colorless Megaton Slam for 120 damage. Woo! You may flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 120 more damage. What? But if tails, it does 20 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. Ooh, so you don't want to get tails with that. That would be a good thing to use with Trick Coin from one of the previous sets. I think it was Phantom Forces that had that, because that way you could flip again if you don't like the outcome of that. And I think there's still a Victini-EX that, or not a Victini-EX, a normal Victini that I think is still legal that has a similar effect. That's pretty cool. Risky, and it does take a lot of energy, but that is still kind of nice. Well, neat. We got the first EX card from the set. And rare candy, or at least from the box. I don't know if it's the first one in the set itself, but it's the first one I've pulled in this box. Electric, cool. Silent Lab, this could be a very powerful card. It's a stadium, so as long as it's in play, it has its effect. And then each basic Pokemon in play, in each player's hand, and in each player's discard pile has no abilities. So that is amazing for shutting down a lot of really potent abilities, because pretty much any Pokemon-EX is a basic Pokemon nowadays. So this shuts down all of their abilities, and that's really cool. Anyway, because I pulled a Pokemon-EX, I'm going to give you the first person to redeem this. You get this code right here. Have at it. Have at it. Remember, only the first person that redeems it gets it. So go. Go! Unless you're watching this 5 months later, in which case, probably it's gone. But all right, anyway, those codes are pretty cool. All right, so let's continue opening some packs. I got another Bidoof, guys. Look at that Bidoof, bunch of Bidoof. Clamperl, Meditite, Tentacool got lost in the waves. Vulpix as Roar. A foil Rhyhorn, a Diggersby. What? Yeah, this is a wild card. For one fighting, you flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. It's kind of wily. You're not probably going to have too much success with it, but you could use a trick coin with it and flip a lot of times, I guess. And then it does have Hammer in for 70, for 3 of any type of energy, 3 colorless, so that's pretty cool. Aw, Marshtomp wants a hug! Ooh, I love the artwork on this Bunnelby. It's so cool. This is the half art Bunnelby, and it just looks really neat. Its first attack is Burrow. You discard the top card of your opponent's deck, which actually pairs very well with that Diggersby. And then Rototiller, you shuffle a card from your discard pile into your deck. Well, not overly helpful, but still kind of cool. But the cool thing about this Bunnelby is its ancient trait up here. And basically, this Pokemon can attack twice a turn. Even though there's text on it that says if the first attack knocks out your opponent's active, you may attack again after your opponent chooses a new Pokemon. Well, it doesn't do damage. Why does it say that? It's just a standard rule, because there are some cards in the set with this ancient trait, Omega Barrage, and they do damage. This one doesn't, but you do get to use the attacks twice, which is kind of neat. But that's why it says it on there, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, that's really cool. And here we go. Here's another one of the half art cards, the Electrike, and it has Thunderfang for 10. Oh, okay. Not all that great, really, but still probably better than any other Electrike. Whenever your opponent plays a trainer card, it's that Omega barrier that prevents the trainer card effects. So that's pretty cool. Love the look of those cards. They're really colorful and vibrant, a lot of fun. All right, let's keep opening these packs. What do you say? See what kind of fun stuff we can get. So many cards in the set. I think it says there's 160 cards, but there are also some secret rare cards that aren't listed in the numbers. So that's neat. Oh, there's another of the Bunnelby. Looks pretty cool. It's not as good as the other one. At least it does damage though. Metatite. Oh, there's the normal Milotic. The one I got was a reverse foil one. This one is a normal foil, a normal holo. Some people call them holos, some people call them reverse foil, or foils or something. I don't know, some people call them holo foils. It varies. Same with, calling them Pokemon-EX or just Pokemon-X. I've always called them EX, but I guess it may vary. So this Torchic is another one of those half arts. Really cool. It has the Omega Barrage, which lets it attack twice, which is cool, and it actually has some neat attacks. Flare bonus, you discard a fire energy card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. So you can use that twice if you want. It also has Claw. Not all that great, but you can try it twice, which is cool. Or, you can do one attack and then the other. Yeah, it's really nifty. And then Lantern. Neat. Lombre. Look at that Lombre. It's all just like chilling. Hey, what's up? Just here, just chilling. Just chilling. What's going on? How you guys doing? I love the artwork on these cards. I think it makes it fun. Like, even if you don't play the game, it's a lot of fun to just collect these just for the art. All right, so Surskit, Zigzagoon, Trico, Shroomish, Tangela. Ooh, a reverse foil Nidoqueen. And this is a different Nidoqueen too. It's one with the ability. And this is the trait. Remember, traits are not abilities, by the way, just so that's clear. But this one also has Omega Barrage, meaning it can attack twice. And boy, is that going to hurt, because its first attack, for 1 Psychic, it does 30 damage, and the opponent's active is poison. So that's kind of nasty. Plus, it has Dynamite Punch. 2 Psychic and a Colorless, it does 70 damage, plus it does 20 damage to itself. You don't apply the weakness to that damage though, because normally you would, but that's kind of nice. So yeah, that is really crazy. Now if you can put something on it to reduce the damage done to itself, that makes it really nice. But even at that, you hit something for 70, let's say you knock something out with that, then they have to send something else up, and then you can use the second attack, which is awesome, like either of those. So it's kind of cool how they do that. All right, and then there's a Starmie here. Kind of a risky card, only does 10 damage for 1 colorless, but if this Pokemon and your opponent's active Pokemon have the same amount of energy attached to them, it does 60 more damage, making it 70 for 1. Plus it has free retreat, so that's pretty cool. Rhydon, look at that big old Rhydon, that's cool. Oh, I love this Bidoof, it just looks so great. I call it Zen Bidoof. It looks look at that, it looks nirvanic. It's all like in the water, I don't know, it's just so funny. It's not all that great. It's ancient trait, Alpha Recovery. It doubles the amount of healing, and that's only good if you're using items or something on it. For 2 colorless, it does Drench for 20. If it has any water attached to it, it does 40 instead, or 20 more damage. So I don't know. I like the look of it. Oh, there's the other Nidoqueen, by the way. Not all that great, but I guess it's not all that terrible either. It does more damage between turns with poison with that second attack. It does 60 in poisons, but you put 2 damage counters on instead. But, you're probably going to be wanting Burbank instead, which I think would override that. So yeah, or no, actually I guess Burbank adds, so not too bad. All right, Weedle, Zigzagoon, Shroomish, Foil Lantern. Oh, Whiscash. This thing looks neat. Another one of those half arts. But this one is Alpha Growth. When you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, except with an attack, ability, or trainer card, you may attach 2 energy cards. Now, just so it's clear, this is kind of worded very strange. You don't actually attach a total of 3 energy cards. It's just you attach 2 instead. So let's say I attach a water energy from my hand for my turn, you know, not from like an attack or from that Sceptile or something. I attach that to Whiscash. Then immediately I attach a second energy card if I have one. So that's cool, but it's not, oh, I attach one and then I attach 2 more right away, even though it kind of is worded that way. That's not how it works. But even like that, even just you get to attach 2 energy, that's great. That means you can pull off that Earthquake for 120 damage pretty quickly. It also does 20 damage to each of your bench Pokemon though, so you have to watch out for that. But you can use some fresh water or something to heal your bench. Rough Seas would help if you're playing that kind of a deck with a lot of water and lightning. All right, we got Bouffalant, 110 hit points. Not too bad for a basic Pokemon that isn't an EX. For 3 colorless energy, it does 80 damage with Derail. And you discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, so that's cool. But if you are attacking a grass Pokemon, it does 120 instead, because this Pokemon's attacks do 40 more damage to your opponent's grass Pokemon. That's really nice. For something that isn't a Pokemon EX, this really is not too bad of a card at all. Linoon, that's cool. It's not all that great though. And Aggron Spirit Link. Hey, that'll help with my Mega Aggron-EX, right? Of course, then I couldn't use the Trick Coin with it. So you gotta think, because that's a tool. So when you attach it, you know, it stays on it. There are effects that let you remove it though, but they're not the most common thing in the world. All right, Marill! Yay, a fairy type Marill. It's about time. Not all that great though, but it looks cute. Oh, foil Ludicolo. Neat. And Groudon. Oh yeah, look at this thing. It is a beast. It looks, I don't know, I don't really care for the artwork all that much to be honest, but oh well, it is kind of interesting. It has Break Ground. I mean, like its first attack is rather unremarkable, but Break Ground, 4 for 100, so not the greatest in the world, but still very strong. If you don't have a lot of EXs and stuff, but it does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. So that's the downside to it. All right, here's the Fresh Water set. With this, you heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. So that's actually a good card to play if you're playing like Groudon or Whiscash or something. Weakness Policy is another tool that you can attach to a Pokemon, and the Pokemon that this card is attached to has no weakness, so that's kind of neat. And then Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. You can play this card only when it is the last card in your hand. You put a fighting Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench, then draw 5 cards. So you have to time it just right. You have to time it so you don't have any other cards in your hand in order to play it. And then you'll get 5 cards from your deck, you draw them, and you put a fighting Pokemon from your discard pile and you put it onto your bench. By the way, doesn't say basic Pokemon. You can get an evolved Pokemon with that, which is pretty cool. In fact, I think you can even get a Mega Pokemon. I was hearing it was worded that way at the pre-release, or that's what they were going. I think they're still waiting on Japan. I don't know if they approved it or not, but it sounded like it. Be sure to check the ruling on that though, but that's pretty nifty. Actually, I think that's a better Electrike than the half-art one. Oh, Skitty! Ooh, a Doublade, whatever you want to call it. I always call it Doublade. No, I know it's for double, so. Gorabiz, oh, that's a wild looking thing. It has that Alpha Growth, so when you attach an energy card, you get to attach 2 instead. And it has a really unremarkable attack. It does 30, and if heads, your opponent's active is paralyzed. Oh, wow, it's not very exciting at all. In fact, it's actually pretty bad. But it's cool you can attach more than 1 energy to it. All right, Wonder Energy. I wonder what it does. It can only be attached to a fairy Pokemon. It provides fairy energy only while it's attached to a fairy Pokemon, just in case it like changes the type or something. You prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to the fairy Pokemon this card is attached to. So that's pretty nifty, actually. It's a special energy, so you can only have 4 of these in your deck, but it is a little bit more potent than just your basic fairy energy, because you prevent effects that like place damage counters or do things like that. Now, anything that's damage, it doesn't prevent, even things that it does to itself, but although I guess it's only for your opponents. Yeah, all effects of your opponent's attacks, so things that would affect you if you use them on yourself aren't going to do all that much with that. I mean, it doesn't prevent effects that are self-inflicted, let's just say. Okay, so we got Mudkip hiding under a bridge. I love that. I love it. All right, we got Phoebus, Ilamise, Hippopotas, Slugma. We got a foil Weedle, and we got, whoa, Kyogre-EX. Aw, yeah. Look at that watery beast. Yeah, so for 1 water, 1 colorless, 30 and your opponent's active is now asleep. For 2 water, 2 colorless, giant whirlpool for 140. The downside is you have to return 2 water energy attached to this Pokemon to your hand. But if you play it with something like Blastoise, you can just reattach those afterwards. So yeah, interesting. 140 is a lot. Pretty cool. Oh, here's a new supporter card, Professor Birch's Observations. You shuffle your hand into your deck and flip a coin. If heads, draw 7 cards. If tails, draw 4. So it's kind of a gamble as to how many cards you'll get, but it's interesting because you get to shuffle it all in. You could get up to 7. Oh, and speaking of new supporter cards, here's another one, Teammates. You can play this card only if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So even though you can only play it after something's been knocked out, it's great because that's a great way to get 2 of whatever you need. It's conditional, it's situational, but I think it's pretty good. So yeah. All right, and here you go. I'll even give you a code. Again, first one to get it gets it. Oh yeah. All right, so let's see what else we got. So far, 2 Pokémon-EX. Not too shabby. We're almost halfway through the box. Try to pick up the pace a little bit, but I like to explain things. I did tell you at the start of the video, that's my style. That's my style. A lot of you seem to enjoy it. Oh, here we go. A foil Kyogre Spiritling. Nifty. Oh, a foil Azumarill. And it's a fairy type. That's so cool. I love the artwork on that. Look at that. It's amazing. When this Pokemon is healed, you double the amount healed with its Alpha Recovery trait. Nifty. And let's see, Tail Wrap. 2 coins does 30 times the number of heads. And then Dwindling Wave. So I guess that could be interesting with it. For 1 fairy and 2 colorless, it does 100, but it does minus 10 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. But since Alpha Recovery lets you heal twice as much, just heal it up, hit for 100, not too bad. There's another one of the Half Art Electrikes, the Half Art Bunnelby. Oh man, it's like the Half Art Club. That's pretty cool. Oh, I love the art on that. Azumarill, it looks so awesome. In case you didn't know, Marill is my favorite Pokemon, and even though Azumarill is not, it's in the family, although we don't speak of Azumarill. I'm sorry. All right, Solrock, Drillbur, Nose Pass, Volbeat, Spinda. That's a funny artwork. Oh, foil Solrock, a Tentacruel. It has dancing tentacles and stick and absorb. Weird. Oh, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused and paralyzed. Or poisoned, not paralyzed. That'd be crazy if it were. Well, you can't be both confused and paralyzed. All right, Dive Ball. So you search your deck for a water Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Very nice if you're just running water Pokemon in your deck. Oh, there's another Tentacool. Cool. No pun intended. All right, Vibrava. Dragon type who has Super Vibration. Super Vibration. One of those normal vibrations. All right, let's see what we got in this pack now. Almost at the end of the first half of the box. That's why there's 2 halves. All right, Illumise, Slugma, Torchic, Marill, Surskit, foil Hippowdon, or reverse foil, a Breloom. Oh, I think think we've seen one of those before. Archie's Ace in the Hole. It's actually very much like Maxie's Ball Trick or whatever it is, except for water Pokemon instead of fighting. B-Barrel, it's cool. Scorched Earth. This is also kind of interesting. Once during each player's turn, that player may discard a fire or fighting energy card from his or her hand. If that player does, he or she draws 2 cards. So kind of gives you an option for drawing cards. And since there's a lot of other fire type or fire cards, or cards that work well with fire energy to discard and draw, that definitely works very well. So I can see some use in that. Alrighty, now we got Rhyhorn, Tynamo, Torchic, Staryu, Lotad. Ooh, a foil Gardevoir Spirit Link, that's cool. Probopass, has a reinforced nose. That's funny. Grovyle, Shield Energy. So remember the Wonder Energy that's like a special fairy energy? This is actually a lot like the old special metal energy. In fact, it's very much like that, except it only affects your opponent's Pokemon that do damage. The attacks of your opponent's Pokemon do 10 less damage to the metal Pokemon this card is attached to. So yeah, it gives them a little bit of extra defense, but it can only be attached to metal Pokemon. And yes, they're called metal in the trading card game for some reason. Same with electric, it's called lightning. Like it's lightning energy. You'll hear it interchangeably, but it's actually lightning for some odd reason. And metal instead of steel. All right, so a few cards we've already gotten. Ooh, a foil of that Bunnelby. That looks really cool. I love that. Ooh, Kingdra. Shred and Twister. Oh, both of the coins are tails. That second attack, it does nothing. But for each heads, you discard an energy attached to your opponent's active. Huh, interesting. Interesting. Macargo, Kakuna. Hey, Bug Bite, you can't do that. And Whiscash. Actually, I guess maybe it can. All right, final evolution. Yeah, it just had to evolve from a later level Weedle. I think, maybe I'm thinking of something else. All right, Bidoof, Chinchou, Electrike, Lost in the Waves. Ooh, a foil rare candy, that looks cool. I like that. Oh, look at that Rhyperior. That thing looks boss. 160 hit points, what? Plus it has that Omega Barrier, so your opponent's trainer cards don't affect it. It has Rock Wall. Any damage done to your Pokemon by an opponent's attack is reduced by 10, and that's, cumulative, so if you have multiple of these out, you reduce a lot of damage. And then Hammer Arm, 4 for 100, you discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Oh, nice, I thought it would be of yours. That's a really good card. It takes a lot of energy to get going though, but you set up a lot of those rock walls. That's kind of nice. Celio, and nothing can affect it trainer-wise too, which is cool. Experience share, I could see that working fairly well with it. All right, so one half down. Let's check out the second half of this box. What do you say? Da-da-da-da. All right, we got a Staryu, Volbeat, Nosepass, Spinda, Mudkip, foil Nidoran female, Excadrill, Mr. Mime, Acrobike. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, you put one in your hand and you discard the other card. Kind of interesting because it's not a supporter, so you can play more than one of those per turn. That'd be the advantage of that, because it's actually hard to find card drawing cards that aren't support. Whoa, look at this pack. That's weird. It's like there's a lot of extra room down there. Weird. I wonder what is inside. Oh man, yeah, some of the printing on this set's been interesting, and some of the packaging too, I've noticed from various packs. Weedle, Barboach, ooh, a reverse foil that Gorbis, Sceptile. All right, well, at least no one took my good card, right? Groudon, Spirit Link, and Nidorina. Not all that exceptional, but okay, it's fine. Okay, oh, see, this is another one. It just feels like it's cut different up top. Interesting. Okay, let's see. We got a Skitty, Rhyhorn, Spell! I love it. Lotad, Bidoof, foil Kakuna, and oh, Mega Gardevoir-EX. That is a really pretty looking card. 210 hit point, fairy type. Mega evolves from Gardevoir-EX. For 1 fairy and 2 colorless, it has the Brilliant Arrow. It does 30 damage times the amount of fairy energy attached to all of your Pokemon. That is amazing. You combo that with like the Xerneas with Geomancy to search your deck for some fairy energy, move it around with some stuff. Oh man, it's crazy good. That's pretty decent actually. Nice. All right, we got a repeat ball. You search your deck for a Pokemon with the same name as one of your Pokemon in play, reveal it, and you put it in your hand. So that's good if you're playing a lot of the same things. Oh, this is cool. Shrine of Memories, a stadium. Each player's evolved Pokemon can use any attack from its previous evolutions. Of course, it still needs to have the necessary energy to use the attack, but that's still really nice. That gives a lot of extra options for attacking. And I think it would work with the traits too. If you have something that, you know, when evolved, I don't think it would work like, let's say you have a Torchic with a trait, and then you evolve it into Combuskin. I don't think you get Torchic's trait, but let's say you had, you know, like the Whiscash. I guess you could use Barboach's attack. Or not Whiscash, what is it? Nidoqueen. That was something that I don't have that trait that lets you attack twice. A foil Groudon Spiritling. I'm getting all the foil. Look at this Swampert. That art's really funny. Water Arrow does 60 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Then Waterfall, 4 for 120. It's actually not that shabby for something that isn't an EX or doesn't have an ability. Just does a lot of damage and can hit all over the place. Rare Candy. Only problem is it takes a lot of energy in order to use, but you could put a double colorless energy, I guess, on it. Alrighty, oops. Sometimes opening packs can be funny. It's like, you get into the rhythm, you know, after you've opened a lot of packs, it's like, you kind of have an idea of how they all open. And then every now and then there's gonna be one that just kind of gets you. Ooh, a foil Starmie and a foil Ludicolo. I actually have not seen this card. 130 hit point grass type, captivating rhythm. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with one of his or her active. Wow, that's really good. It's like a built-in Pokemon catcher. That's nice. And Solar Ray, 3 for 80, and you heal 20 from each of your Pokemon? That's a great card. I really like that. Nice. Good grass type, too. Escape Rope. Each player switches his or her active Pokemon with one of his or her bench Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. Your opponent switches first. If the player does not have a bench Pokemon, he or she doesn't switch Pokemon. But you can still use the card, unless both of you don't have it, in which case the card would do nothing, and you can't play a card if it's going to do nothing. Generally speaking. Like, you could search your deck for something and intentionally fail it. But, yeah, we're diverging here. Alright, Nose Pass, Trapinch, Spinda, Horsey, Skitty! Oh, Reverse Foil Meryl. Oh, and here's the other Azumarill. This is the non-half art one. It's not all that great, but it is pretty adorable. Aggron Spirit Link, Torchic, Lantern. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. What else do we have lurking inside of this box? What do you think? What do you think? How many Pokemon EX and cool things do you think we're going to end up with? Let's find out. All right, Meditite, Lost in the Waves. I love it. I love it. It'll never get old. Brava. Ooh, Electros. Yeah, that's a beast. 140 hit point electric type. Energy Connect's really nice. As often as you like during your turn, you may move a basic energy attached to one of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. Nice. And you can discard all lightning energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, it does 50 more damage. So you can just put 2 lightning on it and like 2 of anything else, and you're just discarding 2 for 130. Not too shabby. It would work well with the old Electric if you're playing an extended. You can evolve and then wreak havoc with that. Yeah, I wish they would have had that way back in the day. That would have been great, because there weren't really any good Electrosses. Everyone played Electric, the middle evolution, because it let you put electric energy from your discard pile onto one of your bench Pokemon, but then getting it onto your active was always a challenge. So if that card were around back then, in foil Rough Seas. Oh, here's another Electric. but it's not all that good. Although it has, oh yeah, you just heal twice as much with it. Not all that great. Oh well. Okay, let's see. What else do we have over in these packs? I'm feeling something good. I think there's gonna be something good in this pack right here. You guys agree? All right, let's find out. Trico, Shroomish. Don't say Shroomish. All right, Tangela, Bidoof, Clamperl. Don't say Shroomish. Oh, Delcatty. Well, that's not all that great. Another Electric. Man, Weakness Policy and Nidorino. Well, I was wrong. Yeah, that was not a very good pack. Oh well, it's fine. It happens. Okay, let's see. Vulpix, Rhyhorn, Volbeat, Spheal, Staryu, Reverse Foil Combuskin, oh, and Ninetales. Each player can't play any stadium cards from his or her hand. Interesting. That can be used to lock a stadium out too, and remember, it doesn't have to be active in order to use that. Interesting. Wonder Energy. Cool. All right. Next up, another pack. Will this be the one where we get something else cool? Let's find out. Torchic, Marill, Surskit, Zigzagoon. Ah, reverse foil of that Azumarill. Ooh, a Walrein. Yeah, that's kind of wild. 150 hit points. It's Frozen Splash. It's crazy. It does 70 for 4, but if your opponent's active Pokemon is a fighting Pokemon, it does 70 more damage. That's crazy. Another Birch's Observation, Lantern, and Marshtomp, who wants a hug. All right, what else do we have over here? Another pack, another chance. All right, Hippopotas, Surskit, Barboach, Zigzagoon, Trico, a Reverse Foil Seadra, and oh, sweet. This is a full art Mega Gardevoir-EX. Gone are the secret rare versions that pretty much look the same except had like a golden border. Now there's just a full art version of the Mega Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. I already talked about what this card did, but this is the full art version, and it looks cooler and it is rarer, which is kind of neat. Awesome. I got a ton of those Aggron Spirit Links, which is neat. All right, here you go. Have a code. FNE. Fine. I always love looking for words on the codes for some reason. It's always funny. Always funny to see what kind of stuff you can find. Or fine. Oh man, do you guys do that? I do. It's amazing. There's not words everywhere on it though. But some, it's like, oh yeah, that definitely says something. Trapfinch, Foil Diggersby, Huntail. It's actually an interesting Huntail. For 1 water energy, it does 20 damage times the amount of 20 times the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon for just 1 water. That can be interesting. Like, really. The fact that it's all of your Pokemon is really cool. All right. Nearing the end here. Almost there. Alrighty, we got Chinchou, Tynamo, Nidoran Female, Lost in the Waves, Torchic, Corphish. Oh, there's another one of those Nidoqueen. Nido. Yeah, alright. Moving right along. Oh man, down to the final 4 packs. Will they be the Elite 4? The ones that'll give us even more, or will they be yet another bore? Alright, Volbeat, Spinda, Mudkip, Phoebus, Foil Escape Rope, Beedrill. Huh. Allergic Shock. During your next turn, if the defending Pokemon is damaged by an attack, it's knocked out. Wow. It's crazy. Shield Energy, Kakuna, Brava. There's a Flygon in the set. I've yet to see it in one of these packs. I think I have seen it, but it's interesting. All right, Bunnelby, Lotad, Metatite, Bidoof, Horsea, Foil Electric, another one of those Macargo. That's cool. Nidoqueen, another Macargo. Man, they're all over the place. Okay, 2 packs remain. Let's see what we get in these packs. Hopefully we can get something cool. All right. Torchic, Staryu, Lotad, Solrock, Drillbur, Reverse Foil Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick, a Tangrowth, Masquerain, Gardevoir Spirit Link, and Grovyle. All right, final pack. Let's see what we get. Dun da da da. All right, we got Shroomish, Spheal, Mudkip, Phoebus, Slugma, Reverse Foil Masquerain, and a Blaziken. Attach how many? 3 fire energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. Huh, interesting. And then 2 for 100, and you just have to discard an energy attached to it. Not too shabby. Combuskin, Mr. Mime, Acrobike, and yeah, that's it. Well, there were just the 4 Pokémon-EX cards in here. I have actually heard that there can be up to 8 like EXs or full arts or secret rares or things like that in one of these boxes. So I think 4 is unfortunately on the low end, but they are still some pretty cool cards. And I did get 3 of them as Mega Evolutions, which is pretty neat. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Primal Clash box opening video. If you did, maybe consider just hint. But yeah, anyway, I will also be doing a theme deck video on these cards, because there are 2 theme decks in the set, which great way to learn how to play, or if you just want to get some cards and get out there and play rather than just getting the booster packs. It's a great option. So I'll have that coming up pretty soon. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time, everyone.